Here's an example of the danger of punching in combination. First, let's watch Kelvin. He's on his lead foot, and he's going to throw out this jab. And note, he kept the weight on that lead foot. Now, right here would have been a second jab. In fact, more like a backhanded jab with a rear cross following right behind it. So think of it as a 1-1-2. Now, the question is why didn't that work? Well, I'm glad you asked. To find out, let's go back to Orlando. Orlando's shoulders are square, and notice how he parries that first jab. And this is important to note, his head is over his lead foot. Now, that second jab will come, and he's going to counter back with his own jab. And another little nugget, when he counters, his shoulder rotation pushes him off that lead foot towards the right side of his line. So when that rear cross finally comes, he could safely move away. Okay, let's put some beats to this. So for Kelvin, the first beat is the jab, the second beat is that backhanded jab, and then the third beat is the rear cross. And then for Orlando, the first beat is the parry, the second beat is the counter jab, and then the third beat is peeling away. Now for fun, let's say you want to create a partner drill. How would you do that with the sequence? Well, you can't unless you want to punch your partner in the face with that counter jab. But let's figure it out. So for Kelvin, we're going to keep his pattern the same. He'll throw out that jab, backhanded jab, rear cross. Easy enough, no changes. But for Orlando, we're going to change what he does. We're going to keep that catch parry, but we're going to get rid of this counter jab. Instead, let's say he pulls Kelvin's backhanded jab, putting him on the right side of his line near his rear foot. So imagine that counter jab doesn't come out, but he ends up in the same position, pulling towards that rear foot. So just cut this arm off and assume it's attached to his body, like a shoulder roll position, or this arm is attached to his head. Then when that rear cross finally comes, one more slight change, he could drop straight down, getting under it. So let's go ahead and write out this new sequence that we just came up with. So we have a jab from Kelvin. Then we have that second jab, the backhanded jab. And then he'll throw that rear cross. Now let's go to Orlando. Orlando is going to go ahead and catch or parry that jab. And then instead of this counter jab, he's going to go ahead and pull towards his rear foot. And then when this rear cross comes, he's going to drop straight down, getting underneath it. And that's all I got.